Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trek Canon. So, today I'm doing a review of Season 1, Episode 4 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds entitled Memento Mori. Now, let's jump right on into this. I'm going to just start with the old Beetlejuice attitude, which is it keeps getting better every single time I see it. All right, now, so let's just talk about it, man. This is what's going on in this episode. Basically, the ship receives this transmission from a colony that they're going to take a look at. And they're going to land on a planet and everything. They're going to, party like it's 1999. But anyway, they beam down and find out that the colony was destroyed. Uh, Bodies are missing, blood's everywhere, all that kind of stuff. Now, they do come across a few survivors later. All right, come to find out it's a trap. And we are introduced to the Gorn. Now, needless to say, the Gorn is attacking the ship. We start to get perspectives of people trapped in various areas of the ship. So we have a storyline that's going on in sick bay. We have a storyline that's going on in the main cargo area. We have a storyline that's going on the bridge, and we have the overall storyline. All right, now I like episodes like this. It's in the vein of Captain's Holiday, episodes like that. All right, now let's talk about the Gorn because I wanted to start there. I wanted to start with the Gorn because that is a canonical species. All right, now the problem we get in dealing with canonical species or things in canon in general is, can you still maintain a good, interesting story while adhering to canon? All right, so let's talk about the times that the Gorn was introduced into Star Trek. Now, like I always tell people, the Gorn is one of the most famous non-knowing species that you have in Star Trek. All right, everybody knows the Gorn, but don't nobody know the Gorn. What do I mean by that? You could say to somebody, "Hey, do you know what a Gorn is?" And then most likely 9 times out of 10 they'll say, "Nah, I don't know who that is." But if you say, "Hey, do you remember that lizard Captain Kirk was fighting on that planet, man, where he used the bazooka?" Right? Everybody knows that. All right. Hell, they even did a MythBusters episode on that. All right. Now, that was the first time we were introduced to the Gorn. And in that episode called The Arena, what happens is that Kirk receives a message from this outpost commodore, basically saying, "Hey, come on over for a party, man. Beam down, bring your tactical officers and everything with you." And come to find out when they get down there, the settlement is destroyed, and these messages were sent by the Gorn as a trap. So, going back to the episode Memento Mori, this is what happens. All right, they receive these messages from the colonists. They get ready to go down, find out that it's a trap. All right. Now the thing is in the arena, this is where Strange New Worlds is going to start. If they decide to keep doing this, is where they're going to find a little bit of a issue. All right. In the arena, it was insinuated that this is the first time that they've come up against the Gorn. All right. Then they had the episode the Enterprise, which reintroduced us to the Gorn prior to the arena. Now we all know how strange that could be as far as keeping with canon. Now there was two variations of Gorn in those particular episodes. In the arena, you got the tank, slow moving, strong as all outdoors, could throw a boulder way up there on the cliff that he just got hit in the chest with like it was nothing. You got the Gorn that's fast, more reptilian, all those types of attributes that a lizard would have. You had that from the Enterprise episode. So there's an inconsistency with the type of Gorn that we're going to be dealing with. All right. In this episode, we don't see a Gorn firsthand, and I'm glad that they did that because when in the arena they didn't know what a Gorn looked like. All right. Now, in this episode, we go into a lot more of Lieutenant Noonien Singh's backstory, and about how her colony ship was captured and the survivors placed on this basically a Gorn feeding planet. All right, Gorn nursery where they get hunted and eaten alive by the Gorn babies. Now, we already know that the Gorn don't care nothing about humans. Actually, it hasn't been shown that the Gorn care anything about things that are not Gorn. All right, Gorn, like I said, are reptilian, extremely powerful, advanced technology. All right, so they're either right on par or a little bit more advanced than Starfleet. All right, so they are a formidable foe. Now, the thing is that in this episode, is really cool how they set it up. They keep the Gorn kind of their physical appearance and everything kind of, second to what's going on in the episode. You do see Gorn ships, which I'm happy to see. You get to see the designs that they had. You get to see a little bit more of their space interactions. You get to see a little bit more about how their tactics and everything that goes along with that. But they kept it real vague, like I said, about the Gorn themselves. Now, the Gorn never boarded the ship. The Gorn is basically a space battle. Now, some of the little things that's going on also in the episode is that Uhura and I always forget his name, but him, the chief engineer, they're trapped in the main cargo bay, and the chief engineer's hands have been crushed, so he can't use his fingers. Now, I guess Uhura at the beginning of this episode was training under him, and you know how he is. He's like, man, look, y'all don't impress me. But Uhura's mission was to impress this guy, right? So Uhura, being a badass that she is, she's like, look, right now I have fingers, you don't have fingers. Let's be a team, man. And, he's like, look, I don't like teams, but we got to do what we got to do. So also, if you guys notice, it wasn't an issue. It wasn't a situation of, like, for instance, Wesley getting on something and just is done. No, she was making mistakes. You know what I mean? Several mistakes. As a matter of fact, the main objective she was trying to achieve didn't work. You know what I mean? So, which led to a situation of them having to evacuate or depressurize the main cargo bay. Now, and that's realistic. It's not your field, man. It's not your field. I've tried to talk people through intricate mechanical fixes, and it's not as easy as you might think. People gonna make mistakes. All right, there's certain feelings and all that kind of stuff that you'll have to be aware of, you know, to actually maintain a mechanical system. So anyway, we also go a little bit into Ortega. Let me tell you something about Ortegas. I love Ortegas. That's Ortega's. Look, the pilot. I like Ortega more than I like it, and this is only 4 episodes in, so it's saying a lot. I like Ortega more than any other Starfleet pilot. All right, even Sulu, like even Sulu, I like Ortega's flight skills. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. She's a badass, but she's not cocky like Paris. A lot of people might be like, oh, she's cocky. No, she is confident in what she's confident in. But if she ain't ever done it or she's unsure about it, you can tell that she's like, hey man, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. But you know what I'm saying? She finds her motivation. She digs deep and she does a thing. You know what I mean? Like she does a thing. So I dig her as a pilot, man. She's all right with me. She is all right with me. Now, if we could just get the navigator, if we could find a way to get the navigator in a little bit more, get the navigator in a little bit more. Now, so during the onslaught from the Gorn, right? There's a lot of people wounded. Several people dead. Number one is one of the people who is injured. She has to go to sick bay. All right. Now, I don't know why her Illyrian DNA didn't, help her out with that, but I guess that's not a thing that Illyrian DNA works on. I think that she'll have a high speed healing factor or something like that. But, I want to do augments have healing factors? That's a good question. I should know this. Actually, there's nothing in canon to suggest that augments have exceptional healing factors. Anyway, so, love Ortegas. Now, number one has to go to sick bay. And this is where another place where the stories is taking place. Now, because of the attacks on the Gorn, a lot of the ship's main functions are down, everything like that. They had to retreat into a brown dwarf that was encircling in orbit around a black hole. All right. So We go into the whole trope of going into the nebula, which balances out everybody. Nobody could scan, nobody could do sensors and all this kind of stuff. But it was one thing that stood out: the way, and it's cool because Spock would have came up with some shit like this. The way Spock how he decided to turn a compass into a radar, just like what Pike said. And that's Spock. You know what I mean? These people, these are miracle workers that work on the Enterprise. So, long story short, they end up through high speedness, various high speed, things that happen. And remember when I told you guys a while back that the technobabble in Star Trek is based in actual science, always has been. They started to deviate from that once they got into my problem kids like Picard and Discovery. They just start saying shit because it sounded like something that you should say in this particular situation. Or my personal favorite, science is good. Now, if you listen to all of the explanations that they gave, the Coriolis effect, what happens when you reach the event horizon of a black hole, the depiction of the black hole, you know what I mean? Like everything, all of the steps scientifically that they were taking to explain the situations that they were in, how to get out of the situations they were there in. All of these things were grounded in actual established science. And this is why I love Star Trek. And the writers of this episode, just like the previous episode, 3 episodes, have been kicking ass. Like, straight up kicking ass. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys how they end up getting away from the Gorn, because like I always say, even in my review videos, even when I say spoilers, even when I say that, there's things about the episode that I just want a person to experience for themselves. All right, there are things that I do talk about as far as how it fits into canon, how good of a story it was, some of the good plot points and nuances, maybe some Easter eggs, stuff like that. But unless I'm doing an examination, my reviews will always be um, able to be seen, watch the episode and then seen again, or watch the episode and seen, or just seen by themselves. But I wouldn't recommend that because, again, like I said, I leave some stuff out. Now, let's talk about the Galileo. The Galileo is one of the most famous shuttlecraft ever to have been on a USS Enterprise. It has made all kinds of appearances in Star Trek the original series. The Galileo. I'm happy that they put that in there because of course the Galileo would be on the Enterprise, man. It's the Enterprise shuttle. Now, there was a moment where Una was supposed to be getting a blood transfusion, plasma, right? And they had to go back to prehistoric medicine. And let me tell you something about that. Dr. Mbenga kind of let me down a little bit on that because Bones, although he did not like primitive medicine, he was fully capable of treating a person without a sick bay. He was fully capable of treating somebody without a medical tricorder. He was fully capable of treating somebody without none of that stuff. All right, he preferred those things, but he knew about medicine. He was a doctor. You know what I mean? Just like there are treatments that doctors use now or are aware of now that's been centuries old. You know what I'm saying? They may not be something that splinting, for instance. All right, that's something old. You know what I mean? But we have things like casts and stuff like that. But if you don't have the availability of these things, we know that splints exist. We know how to apply a splint. You know what I mean? So Dr. Mbenga not being able to apply sutures or you know, that's weird to me. And then have to rely on your one of your nurses, Nurse Chapel, you know what I'm saying, who, you know, also should know these things, but you the chief medical officer, man. Like, so that was weird to me. But Una's lone blood, man, and before she passes out, come to find out that there's another crew member that needs a transfusion. And before Una passes out, man, she gives the doctor an order. Hey, man, use that last transfusion on this crew member. Don't worry about me. Now, what was really cool is when she woke up, man. She woke up and she seen a transfusion IV right here on her arm, man, and she followed it. Come to find out, it's hooked up to Dr. Mbenga. Wow, he's still tending to patients. You know what I'm saying? See, that brought Dr. Mbenga back for me right there. Because when he said he ain't know how to apply stitches, I was like, Mbenga, you can't be chief medical officer no more, dog. You can't, you can't do this. What if we on the planet, man? And come on, Mbenga, come on, dog. So, but he restored his little clout to me for that particular situation. You know what I'm saying? And while still tending to his duties. So, what do I think of the episode or episode overall? Another banger, people. Another banker. You know what I mean? This this is, you know what? If they threw in a bogus episode, you know what I'm saying? If like in episode 5 it was a bogus episode, I wouldn't even have a problem with it. I'd be like, oh, okay, that was a bogus episode, but y'all remember all those other episodes? You know, like, so they kicking ass, man. Whoever this writing team is that's doing this, I don't know if Kurtzman is overseeing any of this. I know he's executive producer, but they might not allow him in the room. You know, he's probably just there as name only, because everything he touched been. But Strange New Worlds, man, kicking butt. What did you guys think, man? Tell me what you guys thought. Leave it in the comments below. Let's talk about this episode, man. What was y'all favorite part? Did y'all think Uhura actually earned the chief engineer's respect? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did you guys think of Ortega? How do you guys like Ortega as far as a pilot as stacked up against the other pilots like Sulu, fucking Dax, uh, you know, am I tripping? Paris, you know, what do you guys, you know, Merriweather, look, Merriweather, Merriweather is probably my last pilot. I don't know why I don't know what he was, you know, Merriweather from Enterprise. You know, me and him don't really get along like that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, peace, recycle, and say the whales. You guys be cool.